Okay. No problem. Whatever instrument can connect and always go on with our bhakti. Bhakti is important. Disturbance. Very lot of
Lot of
disturbance.
disturbance. Lot of disturbance.
Whose it is? Okay. Okay. Fine. So, Shobha ji, our family, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So, Daniel ji, how are you?
हरे कृष्णा फाइन प्रभु जी आप कहाँ हैं वेयर आर यू
I am in India.
प्रभु जी that when you're everything coming up in the YouTube प्रभु जी that someone has to work out on these things. You have told
Yeah.
Rahul long time back, but
Mm.
that thing has to come up in this thing, Prabhuji. Anything like suppose 7.23, 7.24, we'll just click it and then it will come, these things. वो
Okay.
थोड़ा आप कर दीजिए प्रभु जी. That will be very much required for us, these things.
हमारा तो सुनने का जरूरत नहीं है, आप प्रभुपाद जी का सुनिए. प्रभुपाद जी का ना एक वेबसाइट है, प्रभुपाद वाणी बोल के, उसमें तो सब आ जाएगा आपको. 1.1, 7.1, 8.1 सब आ जाएगा.
नहीं आप देखिए प्रभुपाद जी तो है लेकिन आपसे ही तो जाना है ना तो आपका जो है दैट इज वेरी मच यूजफुल एंड वी अंडरस्टैंड योर
मेरे जाने के
लैंग्वेज.
लिए है ना. प्रभुपाद जी का लैंग्वेज और सिंपल है, हम तो कॉम्प्लिकेट कर देते हैं. ठीक है. नो, यू स्टार्ट हियरिंग
Actually,
प्रभुपाद.
Prabhu, what
Okay.
Sanya said is correct, Prabhu. Hare
हाँ?
Krishna, Prabhu. What Sanya said is correct, Prabhu. Because sometimes, we are also reading at our pace. Sometimes we are reading, now I am reading sometime in the 14th chapter or 15th chapter. So I can go back to your lectures and go to it. Of course, Prabhupada has got a different style and of preaching, and it's more detailed also, a little bit, lots of a lot of cross. This one is there, but yours is a little more simplistic and more easy to follow, Prabhu. I think that's a very good
Prabhu means
idea that Sanyal is putting forward, Prabhu.
I am only repeating what Prabhupada has said, nothing more.
No,
One
but
word
then,
also nothing more.
even more
and
elaborate,
we
Prabhu.
don't want to
It's
go to
different.
some other hand, Prabhuji. We will be under safe hand. Everything we are learning, listening from you, and we have learned Bhagavad Gita from you only, this thing. So better that we should have that opportunity to whenever we want that we can just switch on and then we can start, we can watch on TV, we can watch on laptop, whatever. See,
I
वो थोड़ा
think
अब YouTube पे कर
Rahul
दीजिए.
would have made up to 14, 15 chapters. Let me find out again. Okay. I've noted down the requirements. We'll arrange. Okay. What is the situation status? I'll see. Fine. Let's move ahead. Gupta ji, Hare Krishna, welcome. Gupta ji, okay. Gupta ji is busy. You're traveling or you're back?
Going back home.
Okay, very good. Dear Krishna Prabhu, Mataji, Hare Krishna, welcome.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Then Janardhan ji, Hare Krishna. Okay, fine. Who else have left? Okay, everything covered. I think one iPhone is there. Hare Krishna iPhone. Okay. Fine, let's begin our discussions on Bhagavad Gita as it is. So, Sanilji, we are almost in the middle of the last chapter.
Yeah.
So another 4 or 5 sessions, our Gita is complete. Okay. So before we begin, let's offer our praise to Prabhupada and Lord Krishna. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare श्री श्री राधा वृंदावन चंद्र की जय, श्री श्री निताई गौरंग की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल। Okay. So we have been discussing on chapter 18, and we have so far discussed up to verse number, if I'm right, yes, 35 done now. Yes, we have to start from 36. Okay. So because this chapter has 72 verses, or 78 verses, sorry. So exactly we're in the middle, almost middle. Okay. So let's to get a short recap of what we have understood so far from the beginning of this chapter. This chapter is titled The Perfection of Renunciation. So welcome, Suvarna ji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So this chapter is called Perfection in Renunciation. So basically, Krishna is telling us to perfect our sense of renouncing this world, vairagya. Right? The whole Gita's conclusion is that give up this material world and come back to spiritual world. So we have to give up something, renounce something, and go to our real situation of spiritual existence. So with that in mind, because we are too much attached in the material world right now, with our body, with our bodily extensions, family, society, friendship, love, all these things. This entanglement is what is binding us and keeping us going on repeatedly, taking birth after birth. So though the final chapter, as Prabhupada says, is a supplementary conclusion. Already Krishna has concluded. 17th chapter means all the Gita is over. But 18th chapter, as Prabhupada very nicely says, in the very beginning of the purport of the first verse of the 18th chapter, it is a supplementary summarization of the topics discussed before. So, Arjuna begins asking two questions. What is Tyaga? What is Sannyasa? What is renunciation and what is the state of renunciation? So, for which Krishna explains that Sarva Karma Phala Tyaga means giving up the results of all activities is called Tyaga, and that state in which we continue to go on in our life, that state of existence is called Sannyasa, Krishna explained. So with that, Krishna further opens up various other aspects, because when you say giving up activity, results of activities, what does fruits mean, what does results mean, Krishna is getting into details, right? So first of all, Krishna explains that the different various great personalities have different opinions about Tyaga. Some say you should give up everything. Some say no, you cannot give up yajna dana tapa, which are meant for purification. So Krishna concludes that with regard to yajna dana tapa, what is recommended in scriptures, if it is performed as per the rules regulations of scriptures, if it is done as per the for purification, they need not be given up. That was the conclusion of Krishna. And with that, Krishna opens up the topic of what does actually activity mean, right? He gives the understanding of Vedanta Sutra. He says activity, any accomplishment of any activity has 5 factors: the place of action, the performer, the instruments of action, and the different endeavors, and finally the super soul, supreme sanction for the super soul, right? And Krishna further breaks up the constituents of action as the knowledge, jnana, object of knowledge, and the knower, which are the motivators for action, and with regard to the senses, the work and the worker are the constituents of action. All this we have understood and studied. So Krishna explains 6 different things from after explaining the various aspects of the actions with regard to the knowledge, action, and the performer action in three modes. Right? First, he explains these three, and then further he explains about the intelligence, buddhi, understanding, and dhriti. Dhriti means determination, sankalpa. Three modes, how they're working in three modes. Now, finally, he's going to explain on the aspect of happiness, because with every action, for every action to be done, you need some buddhi, understanding, right? And who is doing who is doing the action? A performer. You, as a person, is doing the action. And action itself can be of different types based on under the influence of three modes. And with what determination you perform the action, which we have understood in the previous discussions. And when the actions are performed under different modes, you will experience either happiness or distress. So, beginning from 36th verse up to next 4 verses, we'll see Krishna explaining about happiness in three modes. Right? See, happiness also in three modes is there. So, verse 36. Sukham tva idani trividham shunu me bharatashrabha abhyasad ramate yatra dukhantam cha nigacchati. O best of the Bharatas, now please hear from me about the three kinds of happiness by which the conditioned soul enjoys, and by which he sometimes comes to the end of all distresses. Right? So, here Krishna is just giving a prelude with regard to happiness aspect. There are three kinds of happiness under three modes. That's what Krishna is going to explain. Trividham, even the sukha, happiness, which people perceive as happiness. Because we have been seeing from the beginning of second chapter, Krishna has been talking about happiness. Sukha, dukha, matra sparshastha kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkada. Right? The sense of happiness and distress, or the dualities we experience in the material world, is only our sense perception, Krishna said. So like this, about happiness, a lot of discussions have happened. And Krishna explained about the concocted happiness which people experience. Krishna said, our mind is a factory of generate desires, and it is concocting various plans and different ways of enjoying this material world. And that is what we are thinking it is happiness. Prajahati yada kama sarvan parthamanavata, second chapter, 54th verse, Krishna says. So like this, many aspects of happiness has been explained throughout the Gita every now and then. Because as a living entity, all of us are constitutionally blissful. Right? That is our actual situation. Anandamayo bhyasat. Anandamayo bhyasat means, as living entities, we are constitutionally entitled for happiness. Satchidananda Swabhava. Right? Satchidananda means we are eternally existing, full of knowledge and full of bliss, happiness. So experiencing happiness at every stage of our existence is something which is constitutional to us. But right now, what type of what quality of happiness we are experiencing is something we have to understand. Right? As if you see in the 6th chapter, Krishna in the middle explained what is that ultimate happiness when a yogi experiences. Right? If you open 20 to 23rd verse, he says, Yam labdva chaparam labham manyate nadikam tataha. Right? Yatro paramate chittam niruddham yoga sevaya. So like this, Krishna explains many things. Completely restrained from mental activities, practice of yoga. Right? See, in that joyous state, one is situated in the boundless transcendental happiness realized through Sukham atyantikam yattat buddhigrahyam atindriyam. Sukham. Again, sukham. Like this. So the transcendental happiness and material happiness. That's what Krishna has been distinguishing and explaining throughout the Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So now Krishna is concluding here with regard to what all is explained in the previous chapters, that he's telling, please hear from me, there are three kinds of happiness, because what action you do, that action will result in some reaction. That reaction will result, or rather will give an experience of one type of a happiness. Again, it's true. What is true happiness? Krishna has explained in the previous chapters. But there is a sense of happiness everybody feels when they perform an action. What is that enjoyment which he is experiencing is what Krishna is going to explain now. So sometimes he feels he is happy, but his distress continues. And that's what Krishna is telling us here. Whereas sometimes the conditioned soul enjoys, and he comes to the end of all distress. Right? Real distress is what? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukkha, Dosha, Anudarshanam. The real dukkha, distress is ending our cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. So here, Prabhupada very nicely brings out a nice concept about material enjoyment, the nature of material enjoyment. The nature of material enjoyment is such that it can never give you actual happiness. It can give a sense of happiness for you with regard to illusory happiness, just like the feeling of water in the desert, mirage, right? Sense of, oh, there is some happiness is there, imitation happiness, right? So the conditioned soul is running after different things to look for happiness, chasing happiness. That's what is happening. So here, basically, Krishna is telling, as Prabhupada is explaining to us, that the material world, what we are doing is achieving the chiv. We have experienced one type of a aspect with regard to an activity. As if you see in the 5th chapter, Krishna has explained very nicely that what is this material happiness. Krishna explains in verse number 22. Yahi samsparsha jabhoga dukkha yonaya evate. Material happiness, bahya sparsha, asakt atma, vindati atmani yasukam. Material enjoyment is something which is all for the conditioned souls, whereas liberated souls do not take pleasure in this, Krishna explains. Whereas what is this material happiness? Krishna explains. Yahi samsparsha jabhoga dukkha yonaya evate. This material happiness means sense object and sense coming together. And actually, this is a source of misery, Krishna explains. But the way the material world is designed is such that they repeatedly go on experiencing, as Prabhupada explains here, that is always engaged in some type of sense gratification, always. And is getting some sense of happiness. He's feeling, I'm happy. It is called concoction. Right? So like this, he's got entangled. There's a nice statement in the Bhagavatam. Prahlad Maharaj very nicely makes this wonderful expression. Right? Puna Punascharvita Charvananam, basically he says. Why? Because such people are trying to be happy in the material world by various means and by various arrangements, various plans. Prahlad Maharaj was speaking to his father, demoniac father Hiranyakashipu. Right? His father wanted to know what Prahlad has learned, basically, and where he has got this Krishna consciousness. That was his question, basically. Right? When father understood that, he has somehow, he asked Prahlad, Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad, What did you learn the best? What is the best understanding you got from the school? He was expecting, Hiranyakeshipu was expecting that Prahlad will say, I've learned politics, I've learned diplomacy, I've learned economics, I've learned this, that. I know how to, attack other kingdoms. No. Rather, he said, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam. That's what he said. I have learned the 9 types of devotional service. That is the best knowledge he explained. Right? So, basically, what Prabhupada is trying to explain in this particular verse is that we are endeavoring in different ways. The whole material world, if you see, the great politicians, all the erudite scholars, philosophers, everybody are trying to make or adjust things in a way that all of us are happy always. Right? The G7 big meeting is going on in France. Why are they meeting? The whole world can be happy, right? Every endeavor which everybody is trying to do is see that individually and collectively we should be happy. But we are seeing that no one is able to adjust material conditions life after life, generation after generation. They're all trying. So many things this have happened many times. Prabhupada said immediately after World War I, there was League of Nations, hoping that the world will be very peaceful and happy. But immediately after that, war broke out. Second World War broke out. After that, United Nations was formed. After United Nations is formed, expected that there will be again peace and happiness. No, again, so many wars have been happening, and even now, there's so many things going on. Unrest is going on. So repeatedly, you're seeing that we want happiness, but we are failing to get that sense, that stage of happiness. So basically, Prabhupada is trying to tell us this so-called feeling of happiness that I'm happy. If I get this material facility, I'll be happy. So this type of understanding and sort of a life, we have been living so many lifetimes. Oh, if I achieve this, if I get this, if I experience like this, I'll be happy. This is called punascharvita charvanana. Right? Somebody already they have taken out all the juice from the sugar cane. That, big sugar cane. You see, sugar cane juice is sold in India very commonly, the roads. Somebody, after that sugar cane juice is taken out, that pulp, what is left, again somebody comes and tries to squeeze it out. Right? That's what we're trying to do in the material world. We know there is no rasa in that, no juice in that. Again, we want to experience same thing. Again, we want to go through same thing. It is called punascharvita charvanana. Basically, unless you know, or unless you come to the shelter of a pure devotee, Mahatma, right? That's what Krishna says in 9th chapter. Mahatmanastu maam partha daivim prakriti vashrita bhajanti ananya manasam jnatva bhutadim avyayam. Right? See, Krishna uses the word that the great souls, Mahatma, right? Before that, he explained about people who are bewildered. Mogha Asha, Mogha Karmana, 9.12. Right? 9.13, he explains about great souls. Great soul, opposite is deluded soul. Deluded souls don't know what is the purpose of life. They are just lost in the illusion of this material world. Whereas the great souls, they know what is the purpose of life. They are fully engaged in Mahatmanastha Mahampartha. They are already always under the shelter of the material, the spiritual nature, Daivi Prakriti, the spiritual divine energy, potency of Krishna. Right? So they are always in Bhajanti Ananya Manasaha. They are always engaged in devotional service to Krishna 24 hours. Right? So this is the perfection of life. This is the real happiness. Anything done other than this is going to only entangle. It may look like, oh, very wonderful arrangement, very good, things will improve, things will change. We're not going to come to real platform of happiness. It may You may feel that, oh, coming to this stage, I'll get happiness. That's what things are going on in the material world in that way only. Planning. If I get that, oh, I'll be happy. But materially, anything you achieve, anything you want to accomplish, it will never give you happiness. That's the point. So Prabhupada is trying to give us this understanding in this particular verse, that we have to understand that we cannot be happy in the material world. That's why you see, it should be, Prabhupada says very nicely, a conditioned soul tries to enjoy material happiness again and again. Right? It's what everybody is doing, achieving the achieved. But sometimes in the course of such enjoyment, he becomes relieved from material entanglement by association with the great soul. So this is the effect of sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha, sarva shastra kahe. Lavamatra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hai. Yes, see, sadhu sangha can create such a great transformation in our whole consciousness. Otherwise, we'll continue going on life after life. Bhagavatam explains grahastha life and grahamedhi life. Grahastha means in whose life center is Krishna. Yes, wife, family, children, all the everything is going on, but my center is Krishna. Grahamedhi means center is not Krishna. Center is wife, children, family, everything. No Krishna. That is called Grahamedhi life. Life of sense gratification. Grahastha life is life of devotion to Krishna. So, by good association, by sadhu sangha, a living entity gets this awakening. What am I doing? Is all going to really, not going to help me in any way. It's repetition of the same thing. Right? So then he has awakened to real Krishna consciousness. That is called real happiness. Otherwise, repetitive so-called happiness. Repetition of material happiness. So Krishna is telling in this verse that there are three kinds of happiness which the conditioned soul is trying to enjoy. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. But beyond this, there is happiness in the mode of Shuddha Sattva, pure goodness, transcendental happiness. That's the point. Okay, so let's go to the next verse. Verse number 37. Yattadagre vishamiva pariname amrutopamam tatsukam satvikam proktam atma buddhi prasadajam. So here very nicely Krishna analyzes. Yattadagre vishamiva. In the beginning, the happiness experience is like visha, poison. But parinama, in the end, it is like amrita, amrutopamam. It is like nectar. And this type of happiness, which is actually awakening our self-realization, atma buddhi prasadajam. Such a happiness is called happiness in the mode of goodness. Right? Because the purpose of human life is athato brahma jignasa, to realize ourselves as spirit soul and reinstate ourselves as spiritual entities, not as this material body. Right? So in this pursuit, Prabhupada says, in the pursuit of self-realization, to come to this level of understanding that I am not this body, I am spirit soul, this requires the practitioner to follow many rules and regulations. Right? Shamo, Dama, Tapa, Titiksha, control of mind, control of senses, right? To have a proper understanding of who you are, what you should be doing, all these things. So this requires a very disciplined way of functioning. Right? Krishna has hinted at this in the verse number 30. In third chapter also, Prabhupada said, I have repeatedly told. Right? Prabhupada says, this is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita is verse number 33.30. Mayi sarvani karmani sanyasya dhyatma chetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vigatajvara. Right? This is the discipline which Krishna expects from each of us. Purpose of Gita is to give us this understanding. Surrendering all our works unto Krishna. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya adhyatma. The word sannyasa is there. So from the very beginning, Krishna has been telling about sannyasa only. Because Arjuna was attached to family, well-being. What will happen if I kill them? So he was attached, attachment. Attachment has to be given up. That is called detachment, tyaga. That state of consciousness is called sannyasa. So when every work is offered to Krishna with full knowledge of Krishna, Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya adhyatma chetasa. Right? Without desire for profit. Nirashi, nirmamaha, with no claims of proprietorship. In such a state of consciousness, we should work, Krishna explains. For Arjuna, it is fighting. For us, one specific activity which we are supposed to be doing. So every activity, the results of every activity is offered to Krishna. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya adhyatma. With the proper understanding of why I am offering this service to Krishna. And then without desire for any personal motivation, personal profit. Sarva karma phala tyaga. Karma phala, no karma phala desired. That's it. So, this requires a very strong discipline, as Krishna Prabhupada says. Such a injunction may make things a little difficult. Nevertheless, duties must be carried out. Right? So, but it looks like Prabhupada says, as if it looks like it's in military discipline. Every day you have to, do this. Every day you have to get up for Mangalarati, Brahma Muhurta. Not easy. It's a regular, every day doing it. Because people are accustomed to live a lifestyle of, I'll get up, aram se. What is today Sunday, holiday, right? Or, some festival holidays. I'll sleep for 12 hours, 14 hours. No, 365 days in our life, we have to get up. Our body is not cooperating with regard to some health reason, that is a different matter. But normally speaking, our life should be disciplined. This is what Krishna has indicated in different places. Again and again, again and again. Right? Just see again, I pointed one more verse for you. 23rd verse in 5th chapter. He says, before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he is well situated and is happy in this world. He is called a yogi. Right? Let's see. So like this, there is ample number of verses Krishna explaining why we have to take up austerity or pain. Even in the common saying, there is no pains means no gains. Right? No hard work means no good results. Even commonly we understand this point, right? Whole year you are not studied, you want first rank. Right? How it is possible? So, even our common understanding, it is a fact that we have to work hard. So, people are doing tapasya, austerity for material achievements. Whereas, if it is for spiritual perspective, for spiritual goal, tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam. Lord Rishpadev is instructing his 100 sons. Bhagavatam says, he's instructing that, telling that you please perform austerity for achieving transcendental goal. Tapo divyam putraka yena shuddhyet sattvam brahma saukyam anantam. Yes. So, the path of spiritual life is not an easy one. Actually speaking, it requires determination, as Krishna explained a few verses before. We understood the determination in the mode of goodness, right? What did Krishna say? Determination which is unbreakable, which is sustained with steadfastness by yoga practice, right? Mana pranendriya kriyaha, control the activities of mind, mana, prana, life, air, and indriya, senses. Determination is required to carry on, right? Otherwise, again, it will come down, fall down. But nevertheless, the type of austerity recommended in the Kali Yuga is not that severe compared to the previous ages or the previous different other practices. That's what Prabhupada always has been telling it. So, Krishna in the 9th chapter, what does he say? This aspect of pure devotional service, when it is performed as per the rules, regulations given, it is fully joyful. Susukam kartum avyayam. So, it is easy for people who will adopt it with proper understanding. It will be difficult for who don't understand the background. At least in the beginning, when I was going to ISKCON, I remember, getting up early morning, very difficult. Mangalarati. Go there after Mangalarati, you're sitting for chanting, you're feeling so sleepy. It is a sleeping time, peak sleeping time. At 5 o'clock, 5 a.m., and you're sitting and chanting. So it requires some level of determination to come to that level. Once you have little practiced, so everything requires practice. When you have practiced, what happens? Then it becomes normal. Otherwise, conditioning with regard to mind has to change. So, the different practices, rules, regulations, which will elevate you to spiritual understanding, spiritual, platform, and which the practices may look like it is very difficult, very hard, poison-like, right? But the end is what? End is going to be nectar. That's right. All these procedures are very difficult, bitter like poison, but if one is successful in following the regulations and comes to a transcendental position, he begins to drink the real nectar and he enjoys life. Right. But see, Krishna also says, just now we understood 5.23, Krishna says, if you can whole life able to tolerate the urges of senses or not simply giving out, whenever, go on enjoying senses as much as possible. No, that is not the recommendation. Senses have been doing this so many lifetimes. We have to check the force of the senses. The urges of the senses have to be, material senses has to be checked. Desire force has to be checked. Otherwise, it will spoil you. Right? That's the point. So, here Krishna is telling, basically, the happiness in the mode of goodness. Right now, all of us are in this stage. Once in a while, Krishna gives a glimpse of transcendental happiness. But even performing austerity steadily over a period of time, gradually Krishna is going to give. When you are not chanted that day, you'll feel, something I'm missing. Because Krishna has given that level of happiness to us. If you have not read Bhagavad Gita that day, you'll feel, I've missed something. Not done my devotion that day, you'll feel like, I missed something. That is the sense of happiness which you are experiencing right now. Beginning, very initial stage. Even the initial stage happiness is so wonderful. What about the supreme happiness Krishna wants to give, right? That is the point. Next verse. It's happiness in the mode of passion. Vishayendriya samyoga tat yattad agre amrutopamam pariname vishamiva tat sukham rajasam smritam. Okay. So here Krishna is telling Vishayendriya samyoga. The same thing as if chapter. Rai samsparsha jamoga. Vishaya indriya samyoga. Vishaya means sense object. Indriya means sense. Sense object, sense coming together. Samyoga. The happiness derived from the contact of senses with their sense objects. It appears nectarian. Very good. Very happy. Sense gratification. At first, it looks, it is giving a sense of, wonderful, happy. Whereas the same happiness will become dukkha yoni or poison. Pariname vishamiva. Basically, amrita and Visha is basically is a comparison given here is how when you drink poison, what happens? You will you will feel so much of pain and you may want to give up your body from that sense. Whereas the Amrita or the word Sanskrit words has different meanings in different contexts. Amrita actually means that is going to make you deathless, right? So that sense of as though I'm going to be happy like this forever, that sense will come. Very wonderful, revelation which Prabhupada is given in his teachings. The sense of happiness in the family, society, sense of happiness with regard to having, with the children, friends, all the society's various arrangements, what you see, the different types of happiness, emotional happiness which people are trying to experience, is just to give us a vocabulary with regard to how it will be when you have real happiness, a real experience with Krishna. It is a sample, right? But that happiness, what you experience here, is not going to last forever, right? In the material world. But also, not that haphazardly you want to get some happiness. No. In a dharmic way, as Krishna explains in the 7th chapter, Dharma avirodha kamosmi, Bharatarshava. That sex life, which is in line with scriptural understanding, Krishna says that sex life is I am that sex life. So, in a proper systematic way of functioning in the material world, with the experience of happiness, Krishna has made, because when living entities come in the material world to enjoy the material world, they have to they have to follow the rules, regulations of scriptures and lead a happy life. Not whatever way you want, not whimsically. As Krishna explains, 16th chapter, Ye Shastra Vidhi Mutsrinja Vartate Kamakara. Not that you violate the scriptural rules, regulations, and you want to whimsically act. No, that will not give you any sense of happiness. Na sukam, says Krishna says, na sukam, na paramgatim. Let's see. So the happiness which is in line with scriptural understanding, when we conduct our life in that way, that happiness is what Krishna is telling about. Right? So here you can get a sense of happiness in the beginning with regard to enjoyment of senses. But finally, it is dukkha yoni. Yan maithunadi sukam yan maithunadi griham edi sukam hi tucham, Prahlad Maharaj says. Material world means it is a combination of male and female enjoyment. Maithuna sukha. A sex life. Prabhupada explains here. Right? A young man and a young woman meet. Senses drive the young man to see her, to touch her, have sexual intercourse. The beginning, this may be very pleasing to the senses. At the end, after some time, it becomes just like poison. That's what Prahlad Maharaj says. Yan maithunadi grihamedi sukham mitucham kanduya nena karayoriva dukkha dukkham. He compares the desire to enjoy senses with regard to sex life as itching sensation. Right? Sometimes you get itching, no? You would like to, relieve the itch by scratching that portion. But more you scratch, more it will, give you, have to scratch more. That's how this Maithuna Sukha is. Sex life is. So Prahlad Maharaj says, more you scratch, what happens? It will all become more and more rashes there. That's what is going to happen with your life. So dukkha dukkham. So they are at the end, after some time, it becomes just like poison. Love story ending in disaster. Right? They're separated or there is divorce, there is lamentation. Right? I was in Australia, I was hearing how there's only single parent mostly. Divorce is so common. Lawyers are all very happy getting business. Every now and then people come and divorce. Very dissatisfied. 70%. I was wondering what a family life. Just see. Separation. Why? When they came together, oh, so much happiness. Why now separation? Mode of passion. Right? Such happiness in the mode of passion, in the beginning it looks like Amrita. But after some time, Visha. Can't even see wife's face. Wife can't see husband's face. I want to be separated. Right? So like this. So happiness derived from the combination of senses, sense objects, always cause of distress. Should be avoided by all means. Right? Already Krishna explained in the 14th chapter, 16th chapter, all this is explained. So basically, happiness in the mode of passion, what you think is happiness is actually a source of distress, you have to understand. Sense gratification happiness is an entanglement. Kama yesha, krodha yesha, rajoguna samudva, mahashano, mahapatma, viddhi enamiha vairana. They are Krishna says, they are the biggest enemies. This sense gratification is very addictive. It will entangle you so much that it will consume you like fire. Okay. Next, verse number 39. That happiness, yatta dagre chanu bandhe cha sukham mohanam atmanaha nidralasya pramadotham tat tamasam udahritam. Happiness in the mode of ignorance now. That happiness which is uh, which is blind to self-realization, right? Doesn't know what is self-realization, right? And which is delusion. Delusion means totally in such a state of situation that doesn't know the reality of life. From beginning to end, delusion, which arises from sleep, laziness and illusion, is said to be nature of ignorance. For anything you do, no, I can't do this, I can't do that. Laziness. Right? Krishna explained all these things in the previous chapters also. Again and again it is coming up. So people who take happiness in laziness and sleep. Very nice example Prabhupada gives. Right? Sanilji, you're hearing? Okay, it is
Yes,
example.
yes, Prabhuji.
This example is from Kolkata. Prabhupada says. There is a Dalhousie Square, right? Dalhousie Square.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. So during the British time, there were a lot of Indians engaged as peons, workers, office peons, assistants. So
Yeah.
Dalhousie Square has a lot of offices surrounding. And in the middle, Dalhousie Square has a nice garden, sitting and other things. So the office assistants used to be given some file from one office. They have to deliver to other office, and some other file from there to here. Like office work they are doing. These assistants, what they used to do, take file from one office. They're supposed to go and deliver, and maybe it will take 10 minutes to walk and go that time. What they will do, they'll come and sit in the Dalhousie Square. There they will rest nicely for half an hour. Relax, sleep. Then after that they go. Then the other officer is telling, oh, you're supposed to come early. Why you're so late? No, in between I had so much other work. Work is what? Sit in Dalhousie Square and take a nap. Half an hour to 1 hour nap. Right? Again, after this person gives the file, goes back. Again, he sits there and again takes one more rest, relax. So the person there, he thinks, see, in my 8 hours, 9 hours duty, I have slept for 2 hours. I didn't do anything for 2 hours. That is my gain. Prabhupada says this was a very common thing. He has seen personally in 1940s, 1950s. So like this, people who are taking pleasure in laziness and sleep. Nowadays, of course, with the mobile internet coming, people are all busy in what? Your Facebook and so many other social media. Busy. What you're doing, 8 hours, fully busy. sitting in front of computer and doing all the social media, so many things, Reels, Facebook, whatever, so many, Instagram. Time, how it goes, 8 hours, no, 10 hours also goes, you don't know. I have seen many people, workers, employees, who doesn't have that sense of responsibility, lazy, right? So such people who are getting some happiness from this laziness and sleep. We have seen many, maybe I think all of you are also worked in many, many big organizations and institutions. You will be knowing how there are some level of people, workers, they want to take rest, working time, sleep, right? For them, it is like taking rest during working time is a big achievement. That is called mode of ignorance. That happen, they get some sense of happiness, no? They have no idea how to act and how not to act. That is also mode of ignorance. For the person in
Prabhuji,
the
one
mode
thing
of
I would
ignorance,
like to tell you, that is
yeah.
the internal matter, this thing. So
Uh,
you have used the word worker, na? See, that when the level of people in the top executive, when they joined as pupil, okay, as an apprentice, that time also they have the mentality that you can just gain something to take raise or something that when they grow up with the responsibility, with the designation, that thing it comes. This thing.
Anyway, so the point is how
This
people,
point is not related to the only worker. It is the some.
everybody, I know everybody.
Yeah,
That,
yeah.
that sense of, relaxing, laziness.
Yeah, relaxing with the
Uh,
time of these things.
Whereas Krishna consciousness means 24 hours to every minute, every second, you have to be busy in Krishna's service.
Yes, Prabhuji.
If you are not busy in Krishna's service, you will be busy in Maya service. This Maya service is called mode of ignorance.
Yeah.
If you are very actively engaged, it is called mode of passion in Maya service. If you are little slow and not so active, it is called mode of ignorance. So, for such people, there is no happiness at the beginning or at the end. So Prabhupada says for the person in the mode of passion, there is some kind of ephemeral happiness in the beginning and distress. But the person in mode of ignorance, there is only distress both in the beginning and at the end. Everything. What is the use of going to office? What is the use of going to home? Everything is distress. No happiness anywhere, right? Only seeing only distress everywhere. That is mode of ignorance, right? Completely in a pessimistic view of this world. Okay, let's conclude with this last verse, 40th verse of today. Natadasti, Krishna is concluding here, summarizing the whole thing, what he has told so far. Natadasti prithivyam va divi deveshu va punaha satvam prakritir jair muktam yadebhi syat trivir gunaihi. So Krishna says, there is no being existing either here or among the demigods in the higher planetary systems which is freed from these three modes born of material nature. Prithivyam cha, nadadasti prithivyam cha, on this earth or on the divi, on the higher planetary systems, devatas, from humans to devatas, everywhere like this, the whole world is under the three modes of nature. Right? Krishna already explained in the 7th chapter, if you see the, I think, 12th verse, Krishna explained how Trivir Gunamayer Bhavir Evi Sarvamidam Jagat. Mohitam Nabi Janati. 7.13, sorry. So deluded by three modes, the whole world does not know me. Right? Everybody, everything in the material world is influenced by three modes. So, influence of three modes is all pervading. Just like we saw how Krishna is explaining in these 6 different topics. Happiness, right? Determination, understanding, worker, work itself, then knowledge. Everything, any aspect of our life, if you see, is influenced by 3 modes. So, advice is to have to rise above the 3 modes. Mamche vihabhicharyena bhakti yogena. So, as long as we're under the 3 modes, we will be experiencing different things and entangled here. So the whole process of bhakti is to elevate your consciousness from three modes of nature to transcendental situation, Brahma Bhuta stage. That's the understanding. Okay, so we have to understand even devatas or higher planetary system entities in the material world are not free from modes. Even Brahma also is under the modes, mode of passion, Rajoguna. Right? It's a nice story in Bhagavatam. I'll just briefly tell. I think I have told earlier also, but again, in this context, it's good to say. Once Bhrigu Muni wanted to test who among the three great trinities, right? Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, who is best? Right? They had all sages were discussing, and they appointed Bhrigu Muni to test or find out who is the best. Right? They knew one who is above the modes, he is the best. But who among them is best? With regard to the, generally people say, oh, Shiva is best, Brahma is best, Vishnu is best. Who is best? Right? It's all described in Bhagavatam. This, what I'm telling you, is the story of Tirupati Balaji. Actually, it's a prelude. So, Bhrigu Muni first went to Brahma, his father, and purposely he did not offer respect to his father. And Brahma, even though he felt very insulted that my son didn't respect me, he was feeling very angry. He didn't express it, but his anger could be his face. You could make out there is anger in his face, right? From that anger only Shiva was born. So like this, but somehow he controlled himself. So Bhrigu understood, oh, see, because I didn't offer my respect to him, show respect to him, so he's mental. There's no showing mental disrespect. So he tells, so he's not, he's still under the modes. Then he went to his brother Shiva. So there he started insulting Shiva verbally. Saying, oh, you are living in a graveyard. You don't have a house. You're wearing snake as your ornament. You're wearing all that bhasma, that ash on your body. What is your life is and all this. So Shiva first thought, my brother has come, let me embrace him. But he started insulting directly. It's Bhrigu. Then he became angry. He took his Trishula and was about to go and kill him. Then Parvati intervened and she managed the situation and told, cool down. So then Bhrigu understood, see, he also is under the modes. Right? My father, my brother, all under modes. So the first offense which Bhrigu did with regard to Brahma was mental. With Lord Shiva, it was verbal. And when he went to Vaikuntha, Vishnu was lying down on his bed of Ananta Sheshanaga, and Lakshmi was serving him. He directly came in very aggressive and angry mood. Vishnu was lying down, but he came and immediately kept his foot on the chest of Narayana, Vishnu. Right. So immediately Vishnu woke up rather from Yoga Nidra and he held his foot. And he did not become angry. Rather, he told, oh, I'm very sorry. Your foot would have hurt because you have touched my stone-like chest. Let me massage your foot. Right? He was trying to, pacify the Bhrigu. See, the offense committed mentally, sometimes you will not know what I'm thinking about, Sushila ji. Sushila ji, what she's thinking about me, I don't know. Right? Because of she becomes angry, she will switch off and go, I don't want to attend satsang. Possible, right? So you don't know. Whereas verbally, if you fight, it's one more level of insult. Third is physical fighting. Physically, you're insulting by harming somebody. But Vishnu did not take it as an offense. He took it as, as a, you are such a nice sage, great sage. It's my mistake. I didn't welcome you properly. Like that, he started pacifying him. Then Bhrigu concluded, oh, Vishnu is the greatest. See, he's having so much of tolerance. Right? When Lakshmiji saw that my husband is being insulted like this, she became very angry and she left Vaikuntha. Right? So, looking for her, Vishnu also came down the material world. That's how the story of Balaji all, comes in that way. She came to Kolhapur. Lakshmi ji came to Kolhapur. And he also took one more, different form and he came down as Srinivasa. That's the story of Balaji, Tirupati Balaji. Like this, there's a wonderful pastime of how Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, all are under different modes. Mode of goodness. He said prominent. Lord Vishnu is prominently in the mode of goodness. Lord Brahma is prominently in the mode of passion. And Lord Shiva is prominently in the mode of ignorance. Right? Doesn't mean we have to disrespect them. They have their own duties and responsibilities, or all exalted personalities. Right? But comparatively, with regard to the way of different situations, if you see, Vishnu stands out to be supreme with regard to his behavior. Right? That's the conclusion. Anyway, here this particular instance I quoted why, because it is said that Vishnu is beyond the actually modes. He is not under the modes. Right? There are other personalities, Brahma, Shiva, and other devatas, they're all under the modes. Of course, Shiva also is a different personality, but he manifests or exhibits as though he is in mode of ignorance for a specific universal, action of destruction. Okay, fine. I'll conclude here. If anybody has anything to ask, discuss, you can take it.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Uh,
People say that Shivji is the best Vaishnav,
yes.
the
Yes.
topmost Vaishnav,
Yes.
topmost.
Yes.
And the habit or guna, if you see, then he is under the habit of tamasic. So then how you can tell him that he is the best Vaishnav? Please forgive me, I have asked any wrong
No.
question or not.
Good
I'm
question.
just, has come to my mind, I'm just asking you,
I
Prabhuji.
told you, no. These great personalities like Shiva and all have different aspects of their personality, different expansions. Right? There are Rudras. Shiva. The original Shiva is called Sadashiva, who is that pure devotee. Okay. That Shiva has many expansions
Okay.
in the material world. Right? So, just like the original potency, spiritual potency of Krishna, Radharani expands as Lakshmi, further Lakshmi's Rama, she's called Rama. Rama expands as, further, other Devis. So, when it comes to the material world, there are specific actions they will be performing. So, with regard to Shiva being under the mode of ignorance, is again, which Shiva you have to understand. Right?
Okay.
Is expansion of one of the Shiva's expansions called Rudras. They are under the mode of ignorance. For a specific reason for.
Bring that chair and that key. Okay.
Huh?
You can keep it down.
Hare Krishna. Somebody's wanting to comment something?
Another chair I will bring.
This chair we first will put there.
Prabhu is little. Okay. Fine. So basically, Sanalji, point is, we cannot, even Vishnu, we cannot say he's in mode of, he's in goodness. For this material world's maintenance, destruction, and creation, everything, same Narayana expands as these three forms. Again, Bhagavatam says. Right? It's like we are also supposed to be transcendental. We are also not supposed to be under any modes as pure spirit soul. But by choice, we are so minute in terms of our existence that by choice we have decided, or rather we want to be influenced by the modes. Whereas with regard to great personalities, when you say Brahma is in the mode of passion or Shiva is in the mode of ignorance, they are in charge of those very great level of administrative affairs in the whole universe. It's not like our being influenced in the mode of passion or ignorance. Right? It's one more level, one more dimension. It's that you have to appreciate. Right? They are not, like the way we are influenced every now and then, every moment to moment, we are influenced. Our determination is shaken. No. Once in a while, there are many pastimes in Bhagavatam explained. Oh, Brahma got bewildered, Shiva got bewildered. Right? Again, to make us understand that we have to have proper understanding of what is what, and have the proper respect for those personalities from that perspective. Yes, we also as spirit souls, we are all pure devotees, but with our own individual free will, we have decided to be like this now, under the modes. The whole Gita's instruction is to how to come out of this influence of three modes and become pure devotee again. That's what Krishna is instructing in the whole Gita. Renounce all this. Renunciation means what? Renunciation of this influence of modes, basically.
So, Prabhuji, our free will also is approved by Lord Krishna.
Your free will is yours. Krishna is not interfering with your free will.
Okay.
You decide today, I want to chant 16 rounds. Who's going to stop you? Nobody is going to stop you. If you decide today, I want to, write all my property to ISKCON, who's going to stop you? Nobody is going to stop you.
But Prabhuji, you have also told that everything happening is under his direction. Without his approval, nothing will be moved in this world or anywhere.
Yes.
So means that the free willing also is approved by Lord also, no? These things.
Free will with a proper streamline and proper, facilitation of, see, you are free willing. Kamaji is free willing. Janathanji is free willing. Everybody is free willing, and they are all running a car separately. You say, my free will is that I have to go at 120 speed. Kamaji says, no, I can speed at 60 kilometers. Janathanji says, no, I want to go at 180 kilometers speed. So which one, who will follow what? Should you follow Kamaji's speed or should you follow Janathanji's speed? So Krishna has made a law of karma. The different free wills to facilitate and to see that everything is happening in a proper, everybody is going through in a proper channel. He facilitated law of karma. It's like you want to go one speed or you want to go one speed. So there is a traffic rule or a traffic law on the road which you have to follow. They would have written 80 kilometers speed. More than this you speed, you will get a challan. Right? Or less than that you go, no problem. Understood? So laws of karma will guide you because you are not individual, no. Like you, there are innumerable living entities, innumerable humans who all want to execute their free will. They want to exercise their free will. So when different free wills come and clash, there will be accidents, no. So Krishna has to facilitate everybody's free will in a particular way so that things go on in a smooth manner. So when you say Krishna is doing everything, Krishna is overall controlling everything. To take the car out on the road, to abide by the rule of the government with regard to how much speed I have to drive. Again, that much free will you have. Free will with some conditions. Right? You are not supremely free. Only Krishna is supremely free. These are all small, aspects which Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita also. You're not supremely free. You're minutely free. Right? Supremely free only is Krishna. He can do anything. He can, as Lord Ramachandra, he could float. He could make the stones float. You can say my free will is that stones have to float. Stone will all go and sink. Right? The point is, Lord can change the law because He is supreme. He supremely, by His will, everything is happening. We are all small, infinitesimal, entities who are under His, one sense, under subordinate to Him. But some free will is given to us. Misusing that free will is what is making our free will more constrained. Right?
Prabhuji, excuse me, Prabhu, is free will dependent on independence? Because we are all independent, but also dependent. So this free will is also is in correlation with independence, isn't it, Prabhu? We are independent to anything we want, but not totally dependent. We are not independent. We are also dependent.
Yeah. See, again, free will means how much you have got, say, freedom to exercise or do things as per your desire. Say your free will, you want to fly, but you don't have the facility to fly. You don't have the conditions to fly. One more nice example is given in Bhagavatam text. Understand this free will and independence aspect. Independence aspect. A bull is tied to a one wooden wooden stand or a tree, for example, with one length of a rope, say 5 meters, right? So 5 meters rope wooden tied to a tree trunk, and that bull can move in that 5 meter radius, right? Not more than that. Within 5 meters, he can do anything. It can do anything. It cannot go beyond that. Now, for some reason, the owner will cut short the rope to 3 meters. What happened? The movement is again restricted to 3 meters. Or if the owner is going to extend the rope to 10 meters or bigger area. This is what we understood in 13th chapter. If you see carefully, Kshetra, Kshetrajna. The type of Kshetra you get, body, depends on what type of activities you have done in your previous life. When you get a human form, that rope is long. When you get an animal form or any other entity's form, the rope is very small. With tree, rope is 0, you can say. You cannot move only. Same body soul concept. But the movement is restricted to practically 0. Which means its free will is highly restrained, even though there is heavy snowfall, heavy rainfall, very intense heat, sun, it cannot go anywhere. It has to stand in one place. Just see, the free will is highly restricted, restrained, practically no free will. So when you misuse your free will, then your rope is reduced. Again, you would go through the cycle of evolution, gradually go up. Slowly, rope is released. Krishna consciousness, what Prabhupada is telling us, Krishna is telling us is, why you want to have rope at all? Become fully free. Mukta Purusha. That is called liberation. Liberation from the rope only. That is called freedom. Like Narada Muni. Narada Muni, Prabhupada is the eternal spaceman. He has no foundations with regard to when it comes to earth, some conditions are there. When he goes to Devata Loka, some conditions. No, he can go anywhere. That is the freedom he has got. So more and more you are spiritually elevated, more freedom you have. More free will you have. And more and more your free will is restricted, your dependency with regard to these different conditions is increasing more and more. More and more you are free. Your freedom is there. Your dependency on the conditions of the material world is reduced. You're depending on Krishna more. Basically, you're independent. The independence everybody wants. But independence, that's what Krishna explains in this in one verse in Bhagavad Gita about this whole dependence, independence. Second chapter only it is explained. Very interesting verse it is. You have to go through that carefully. See, he says, principles of freedom, he explains in verse number 64, second chapter. Ragadvesha vimuktaistu vishayan indriyaischaran atma vashye vidheyatma prasadam adhigacchati. Krishna says, person who is free from all aversion and attachment and able to control his senses through regulative principles of freedom. If you say, going on the road, following traffic rules is actually restricting my freedom, it is wrong. Actually, it is going to give you freedom in the sense of, by regulative principles of freedom, you will be able to safely reach your destination. And you're not going to, create disturbance to others. Reckless driving. I have freedom. What happens? You're going to put yourself in danger, others in danger. Janardhan, you're able to appreciate what I'm telling? Huh? Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Prabhu, very much, very related, very good. Prabhu, I like that correlation. Yes, Prabhu.
The point is, you have to understand, we think freedom means I am fully free. No. It is, we are minutely free. And more you perform devotion, you will experience the freedom more and more with regard to your spiritual freedom. Materially, you can never be free. If a prisoner says, oh, I am free inside the jail, what is that freedom? So material freedom is like that. Any body you take, you're within this material atmosphere. That is not freedom, that is entanglement. You're always
Material
feeling
means
I'm
you are
free.
bounded, Prabhu. Sorry,
Huh?
material means you are always bounded, Prabhu.
Bounding. It's all binding. It is
Bound.
bondage.
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
It's always
Yeah,
bonding.
correct.
You'll get a sense of, you will get only a sense that I'm free. But you're not free actually. Free means free from birth, death, old age, free from this body, free from this modes. That is called freedom. So when
Yes,
you do
Prabhu.
devotion,
Correct.
you're gradually becoming free from the influence of modes, influence of, the conditions of the material life. So what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what does he say? Cheto darpana marjanam bhava maham
Archana.
davani nirvapanam. When you're performing devotion slowly, the pangs of material miseries, the experience which otherwise people are all intensely feeling. Oh, war is happening. What will happen to me? Tomorrow diesel will go up, petrol will go up, gas sales will go up. That will happen. Oh, we are not having any tension. Whatever happens, Akshay Padra didn't stop at all. It's going on. 25 lakh children every day we are feeding.
Very good.
Right? We are not worried. Krishna is going to take care. We only have to do devotion to Krishna. See the level of freedom we have in our at least our thought process. Generally, people are very, restricting their, even the free will with regard to what will happen, tension, anxiety. At least we are free. I'm not worried what I'm going to eat tomorrow morning. No, Krishna is going to supply. I am only worried how I can do more devotion, better devotion. Tomorrow I have to get a Mangalarti. I have to do my chanting. That is what I am worried. That is called regulative principles of freedom. Then what happens? You'll get, Krishna says, Prasadam adhigacchati, you'll get the complete mercy of Krishna. Krishna conscious person is concerned only with satisfaction of Krishna and nothing else. Therefore, he is transcendental to all attachment, detachment. If Krishna wants, devotee can do anything which is ordinarily undesirable. If Krishna does not want, he shall not do that which he would have ordinarily done for his own satisfaction. Therefore, to act or not to act is within his control because he acts only under the direction of Krishna. This consciousness is called freedom. Not that Meri Marji, whatever I want, I will do. Now in the midnight, at 1 o'clock, I'll go to some, eatable, some dhaba. I'll go and eat. Go and eat. Nobody is stopping you. But dhaba also is waiting. People like you will come. What to do? Right? It will spoil your health. So many things, complications you have to follow. It will follow. See, laws of nature are very strict. If you break the law, reaction will come to you.
Correct. Yes, Prabhu.
Correct, no? So more you follow the rules, regulations, more you're free. Means free from your tensions, anxieties. More you break the law, you may think I'm free, but anytime you'll be caught, no? Today or tomorrow. How much you can run? Where you'll run? Anxiety. You are a very
Correct,
interesting
Prabhu.
citizen. Yeah?
Because for every cause, there's an opposite reaction, Prabhu. Definitely, Prabhu.
Yeah. All laws are very strict.
Yes, very strict, Prabhu.
You may escape government laws for some time, but not all the time. Right? Very
And
good.
you gave a very good example in comparison of the tree and animal and the human being. Okay,
Vijayaraji, I'm not able to hear you. You can do it a little louder. Yeah.
you said very nicely explained that amount of human trees, an animal and human being.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. I think we have taken a lot of time with using our free will to continue with our satsang. Let's restrict here now because everybody is having their own engagement. Thank you, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Bhagavad Gita.